The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Tsuburaya Productions.
Okay, so I wanted to do this video.
Me and Jacob have no idea what this is.
No, I'm going to end up saying...
Also, hi guys. Welcome to Tokucast.
Yes. But the state of the world that it is in right now.
Oh, fuck.
I wanted to do something that I sort of touched on in the post that I made on Facebook that you copied for
Twitter.
Which,
by the way, to anybody wondering why we took so long, I wasn't going to write anything. Yeah. I didn't feel like it was my place to write anything, so I asked him if he wanted to make a post, and I just copied what he said.
I wanted this video to be a little bit more positive, solely because of, like I said, the state of the world, which is in both a bad and I feel like a good place with the reaction that is happening.
Mm-hmm. The change
that is
ongoing.
Hard.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And the things that have sparked. And I'm sitting here like, all right, let's apply this to Toku a little bit. We've learned a lot, or at least seen a lot just of good people in Tokusatsu, and the various ones that we've watched over the years. What are some things that the both of you have seen that just like, all right, this is a good person in like any show that we've watched?
Edgy?
Kamen Rider, yeah.
Give an example as to why.
He is the poster boy of selflessness. His entire character was really about helping others, regardless of what they looked like. I mean, one of the darker things, if I recall, is he was in some sort of... It was a little African girl that was in his flashbacks all the time, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So, somebody who cares so much for humanity like that, I just wish more people were like him.
I got one. Kamen Rider Forze.
Friendship is power.
Friendship is power. He doesn't care who you are.
What clique you're from.
He doesn't care what you look like. He doesn't care how high you up are in the caste system at school or whatever. He wants to be your friend because he sees that there's a potential for good in you. You've got something to offer no matter who you are. And if you know, you beating the crap out of him is what it takes for you to accept him as a friend, he'll let you. If you need to vent and hit something, he'll let you hit him. And that's the depths that he will go to. He doesn't care how much he gets hurt as long as he can help other people.
Staying in the Rider world, there's an obvious one that I'm going to end up picking.
Kuga?
Yeah.
I was about to say.
Bringing smiles to everybody.
Kuga, especially at the end of the show where you see him on, I guess, that beach, where he's looking after all these kids of just different races. And the fact that his whole thing was protecting everybody's smiles.
Mm-hmm. And another thing about Kuga is that he is not afraid to become what he hates to protect him, or to protect them, because he has his moments where he just goes off.
Yeah. That moment with,
the guy who killed all the high school kids?
Yeah. He's just such a positive influence. And I feel like, not just on me. We've seen people like Kakusano, Guy himself, Kota, who's just like, that was his favorite. Mm-hmm. He was just like, I really want to be like that character. It's like, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Like, you see me in these videos. I'm a cynical asshole. But seeing somebody like Kuga, even though he's just written that way, that he comes off as somebody who's strong and always tries to stand up for the people no matter who they are, seeing somebody like that and the positivity that he ends up bringing to everyone, especially in that show where a lot of people were against him at the very beginning, it was great. And I wish that more people would end up seeing things like that, just in the broader sense of the term. Mm-hmm. I feel like that would be amazing to have something like that. Going to the Sentai side, you have somebody like Mega Red, who's at the end of the day a teacher, and he tries to be like, as you see him in Go Kaiser, just tries to be good for his kids. Mm-hmm. That's his main thing.
To go from one end of the world to the other, one old episode of Power Rangers comes to mind time capsule from Mighty Morphin. Do you remember that episode?
No.
You might remember it. There's a clip of it played in the beginning of Linkara's Time Force episode.
Oh, I know. Okay.
Where they're making a time capsule and they're talking about how hopefully there will be no more wars, no more anger, no more hate. And just looking at the diversity of that cast, because this was the OG, you've got representation of white, Asian, black, gay, little do they know. And they're just talking about the possibility of the future that we could have as long as we all do our part. And that is what we still need to do, is just do our part.
Yeah. With the way that the world is going on right now, I love the fact that you had all 50 states. This is mostly a U.S.-centric thing, of course, but we had all 50 states in 18 countries, including Japan, out there protesting.
And Germany and all this other.
It was such a good thing to see. And I feel like we're getting a little bit closer to the world that they talked about in Time Capsule. And seeing these people who are acting like, Kuga and Forze and just others like that. I love where we're going. I just hope that at the end of the day, people just keep listening.
And to anybody who doesn't follow us on Twitter or on our Facebook page and aren't really sure what we're talking about, we are pretty much on the stance of fuck racism, fuck bigotry, and fuck bad cops. I know good cops, but But if you are a good cop and you stay quiet, sorry,
you're part of the problem.
You're a bad cop. Yeah. And if that is a problem with you, there is the door. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
We do not want you here.
Could I bring up another example?
Please.
It's two characters, and I think...
Please don't say Jemma and Jemma. Sorry. That is my normal reaction to anything serious. I have to make a joke at some point, because I don't like the serious face.
It's fair enough.
In his
Marcus,
smile.
you may have to help me. I forget the second character's name, but from Ultraman Mebius, Mirai and...
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that I loved about that show was Mirai's just uncrushable optimism and idealism of Ryu, thank you. And Ryu was much more pragmatic. We go back to the first episode where Ultraman does save the day, but there was collateral damage, and Ryu thinks that they should be able to save people without that. It's about we want to strive for that future, but realistically, in the meantime, what can we all do? And I would love more than anything for society to become enlightened, to get to where the Power Rangers said they wanted it to be in that episode. But you look around at the world it is today, and this past week I was extremely angry at a lot of things. There was a lot that was going on that was just really pissing me off. And as a white dude, I don't know that some people say I even have the right to feel that way. Some people may say my opinion doesn't matter when it comes to things like this because of the color of my skin, and you know what, that's your opinion. It is not my place to tell anyone else how to feel, and that goes right back to you, because that's just the height of arrogance. But one of the things, because I don't consider myself, forgive me if I'm getting too personal.
Okay.
I don't consider myself, I don't lean too much to the right. I don't lean too much to the left. I like to consider myself moderate. I like to consider the middle ground as much as possible. I like to listen to both sides of an argument and try and see how can we get along and how can we meet in the middle.
Which, honestly, do you ever watch a show? And I know this isn't telling, because we're getting into politics. Newsroom.
Never did. I know of it, but never seen
It's first of all, it's a fantastic show that has a lot of shit that's still going on today. But he's interviewing a Republican politician who just lost his seat in Congress or the House to a Tea Party person. This is back when the Tea Party was on the rise. And he said apparently he lost a lot of his votes when he backed a bill made by a Democrat. And he had an entire monologue about how when you are an elected official, it is your job to not only push and get the things that you and your voters want, but you also have to work with your companions on the other side of the aisle.
Right.
It is a two-party system, but it is one government.
It is one government, and getting back to Mirai and Ryu, that there is that clash, there is that conflict, but I want to believe, and you may think I'm horribly naive or an idiot or whatever, that's fine, but I like to believe that deep down that's something we can all strive for.
Especially when
Basic human decency.
Your main character, his name, is legitimately future.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is something that we have to look forward to. What are we going to leave for the people who come after us? And I wish we hadn't gotten to the point, or rather, I wish it didn't take something that, like what happened to George Floyd, to
and the countless
motivate,
others.
Yeah, especially countless others. Freaking arrest Breonna Taylor's.
We won't even talk about Breonna Taylor.
Yeah,
I get you.
that one. But I wish that wasn't the catalyst. I wish it was something else, something where nobody died.
I also go back to Newsroom, the first fucking monologue that everybody on their mother has seen, which is America's not the greatest country anymore. But I'm mainly referring to the second half where he goes, but we sure used to be. We made laws for moral reasons. We fought poverty, not poor people.
Did we?
A long time ago.
You have to keep in mind it was different times, and yes, there are problems with them. There may have been problems with how they were conceived, and people have a negative tendency to weaponize them. They tend to pick and choose which ones they want to follow. They tend to pick and choose which laws they think are more important, and I think that's another big problem.
I see this because, it's been on the table. Yeah. We have thighs and the horse whatnot. At the end of the day, they're the same species. And they started to work together near the end of the show, bar some other things called Kusaka. But they started to work together because they realized they were more or less working towards the same goal. At the end of the day, we're all just people. We should be working towards the same goal.
I have another example, and it's one I don't think a lot of people may think about. Isamu Fuya from 01. Kamen Rider Vulcan.
Oh, yeah.
His entire character identity at the beginning of the show was on the idea of prejudice and bigotry against the AI. I can't remember the name off the top of my head right now. Humagears. He hated them. He despised them. He wanted them all annihilated. But then he learned, and spoilers, sorry, he learned that his memories were fabricated. And even prior to that, he was becoming less ignorant. And has since changed his view. He is now working to save the Humagears from total annihilation. Mainly because he found someone else to hate. But in this case, he found the actual bad guy.
Yeah. And the bad guy in this case is racism.
Yeah, he's
just as a whole general thing.
But we need more people like him who are willing to hear the other side, and once they become more educated, less ignorant, whatever term you want to use, are able to recognize their error and correct accordingly. And that is what we do not have enough of in this country right now. People who will shut up, listen, and learn.
And it's not just that. I feel like,
Say what you gotta say.
So many people just don't want to listen.
No.
Yeah.
They just don't want to. Because,
that's the problem.
Because what I believe is true, and I don't care. And if I start hearing I mean, you're getting into like 1984 territory here, where if I hear a different opinion than mine, then my opinion could be challenged, and it could mean I was wrong, and I can't be wrong.
They will just burn books.
Yeah.
That was a great book. I like 1984.
And this is actually there's a psychological term for this. When you are corrected on something that is factually incorrect, like a misconception, and you double down on it instead of it. Because I watch a show called Adam Ruins Everything. I'm sure y'all have at least heard of it.
Heard of it, yeah.
There is a segment where it's like Emily ruins Adam ruins everything.
Oh yeah, I love that episode.
And she points out all the mistakes he's made. And it's supposed to make him angry. And instead, he's excited. At one point, they said the Empire State Building was like 12,000 feet tall, but it's 1,200. And he goes, whoops! Oh! And he flicks the zero off screen and goes, sorry about that. We made a mistake. And that's where she tells them, you are actually making people double down on their beliefs of something that is incorrect. It can actually trigger a fight or flight response. And it's just...
It's hard to get something past some people. And
we can't have the mentality of, well, they're not worth it.
Yeah.
No, we can't.
We can no longer have the mentality of don't feed the trolls on the internet. We can no longer have the mentality of you're not going to change your mind, don't bother.
It's why when I started this channel, I didn't tell either one of you this, but it's just like, I'm going to be in the comments.
I knew that.
I'm not going to be the one to just let them say X, Y, and Z.
Oh, no, you have made that, and I would honestly like to thank you for that, especially anytime you have a stream and Sam's with us, and people are asking, why is she here? She doesn't like to. Thank you for immediately getting them the fuck out. Mm-hmm. Because if any of you do not think my wife deserves to be here, again, door's over there. You can go fuck right off.
I had my moment last week. It was like the weekend after all the protests and everything started. It was a hard Monday for me. And I called my manager. I was right here at work, and I was just like, I can't today. And she was like, I get it. It's just like, sometimes you just take a step back and just take everything in and just embrace the feeling of straight up community that we're getting, especially a lot of the times just in the area. I was down at the protest last Saturday here in town.
My cousin's wife has been in almost every single one of them in Richmond.
Yeah. I couldn't sit idly by anymore, especially as being me in this country. I'm a gay black man living in this country. What the fuck? But the thing is, I always make sure I live every day as extra and as fabulous as I can be, because I refuse to let anybody take me down.
That is, if a lot of people have asked me, like when I talk about my channel, and they ask about you, that is pretty much how I describe you. You are a gay black guy, and that is to a T how you act.
Yeah.
And you give zero shits.
Sure. I don't know where
Which is one thing I've always admired about you, is how zero of a shit you give.
I don't know where I got that from, but I'm just sitting here like, you know what?
Because you're a gay black guy in this country, you have to learn to give zero shits.
And I'm just like, I don't care. I'm just going to be me. And I'm going to be the best me that I can be. And if that causes people to not like me, well, bye, Felicia. Ice Cube said it best.
Have I not said bye, Felicia yet?
Ice Cube said it best. Bye, Felicia, because I had no time
for your
for
shit.
that. And I feel like, as I said in that post a week and some change ago, that's what these people that we watch week after week or bi-weekly in the cases of these reviews, that's what I know that they believe. And I love that. Believing in justice and equality and things like that is just so good.
Things that a lot of the heroes we watch stand for.
Yeah. It's
actual justice.
Good. And I love the fact that we get to come back and start this again.
I also love how the timing of all of this has coincided with Avatar: The Last Airbender coming up on Netflix. And there is a scene in the finale where Aang is talking to all of the avatars before him because he's conflicted about killing Ozai. And he talks to Avatar Kyoshi. You know,
the girl.
And you know what does she say? There is no peace without justice.
Yeah. It's true.
That was I got into TikTok because of this fucking lockdown because I had nothing better to do.
That's true.
I fell down a hole of TikTok and I apologize to no one. But the amount of shit like that and the amount of stuff of Uncle Iroh I've been seeing. First of all, how dare you make me feel those feels again?
Yeah, that was a hard one.
Leave from
He
the
was the
vine.
best character in
Leave
the
from
show.
the vine. Tear. Anyway, these are the mentalities that we need to have as a society, as a community.
Or we could just all at the end of the day end up being Avatar Kyoshi and saying, fuck that bitch up. So
Also, you know someone's evil when he goes to the other monk who has the same beliefs as he did and she goes, kill the bitch.
Kyoshi didn't take it.
No, not Kyoshi, the Airbender.
Oh, I know,
the Airbender avatar before Aang, who even went, all life is sacred, but fuck him.
In those words, exactly.
Yeah,
much.
Exactly. At 8 a.m.
God,
8 p.m. on Friday night on Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Who said, alright, all life is sacred, but his though.
Fuck
him. We can do without that.
I love that show. I love that show.
Not so much core.
It had its moments.
It had its moments, but still.
But
But at the end of the
I
day,
wasn't crazy about either one.
at the end of the day,
That's just me.
got things to stand for. Just make sure you stand up for them. And if you are just mostly just a Toku person, just
unless
know
you're trying to stand up for racism,
that.
then sit down.
Very true. Because unless you're mostly just like
Sit
a Toku
down and don't get up.
Unless you're mostly just like a Toku person, those are like really the only people who really inspire you. You know what they'll stand for.
Yeah.
You know what Kuga stands for. You know what Mega Red stands for. It's just like all these people believe in justice, believe in equality, believe in equity. And I love the fact that this is the community that we're in dealing with this right now. I love the fact that the world reacted the way that it did. It's so damn inspiring.
We need to remember, and there was even episodes on this in Deck Ranger. Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Not the other way around.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
So yeah.
Fuck.
I wanted to do this video.
I see why you didn't tell us.
Exactly. Because I wanted it to be...
I would have participated regardless, but...
Because during one of my streams, my final stream for Mental Health Awareness Month, thank you for all who watched, somebody in the stream asked me what I thought about it. And about all the...
Crazy shit?
All that happened last week, or however... Sorry, time is kind of a blur.
No.
Yeah, the
Fuck.
COVID, man. It's been...
Also, take a week off from work, it's worse.
I didn't answer at the time because I felt like...
It wasn't your place?
Partially it wasn't my place. Partially that stream wasn't the time or the place. I felt like Tokucast wasn't the venue to talk about such things, especially with a stream of Journey on the PS4 for mental health awareness. But...
I need to play that.
It's a great game.
It's a very pretty game.
One of my favorites.
I have it. I just need to play it.
But circumstances being what they are, I'm glad we did this.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to wait, because I'm sitting here like, I wanted to get a true reaction from the two of you. More than anything else.
And, like, we still haven't talked about everything that's happened. We haven't discussed the whole defund the police movement, all of that.
And who knows, it might not actually say anything on those.
But please keep in mind that Marcus studied criminology in college. I was a criminology major for a little while too. So we do have some insight into that world, I guess you could say. So we never will ever try to speak from a place of ignorance.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why I didn't say anything on Twitter, because I'm the one in charge of Twitter. Because if I wrote a monologue, it would have been from a place of ignorance, because I did not. I grew up with white privilege, and I can't not admit that. I'm a straight white man who was raised upper middle class. It was not my place to make that statement first.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, because I wasn't even sure what to say when you texted me. I was just like, I don't know what to say on this. right now because
especially when I was, I was going to put to Twitter and you had a limit.
140 characters or less.
I don't know. You can screenshot things, so.
But you can reply. Also, a lot of people will reply to their own thread to do the whole thing. But I don't want to do that. No offense.
Yeah, it's just like I didn't know what to say solely because I just wasn't not in the right mental space to say anything at the time because it would have came from a much deeper and darker place of anger. And I was just like, I need a day or two to actually.
No, that's absolutely fair because there's a lot of things to be angry about.
Yeah, and good Lord, I was. Ooh boy.
How about Jake Paul? You hear about him?
I tried not to, but I did.
He got arrested for looting.
Oh yeah, he did. Dumbass. Did you hear what his brother said though?
No, what is
his brother was? I'm sitting here like, why am I agreeing with you?
What did his brother say?
It was like a script, but he was just saying everything that really made sense. It was just like, we have to take a step back and just look at our privilege. And I'm sitting here like, why is this coming from Logan Paul?
No one likes you anymore.
But I'm sitting here like, everybody in the comments. It was hilarious on being on Twitter, like in the reply of that video when he posted it. Everybody was just like,
you know it's bad when Logan Paul is on.
Making sense, and everybody was just like, "Oh no,
we fucked up."
Never watched a single video.
Oh, I haven't either.
The only reason I know who they are is because other people know who they are.
Exactly. That's the point.
But it's just like coming back.
I also don't pay attention to news like that.
But actually watching that video, just like, all right, fine. I'll watch the video just to see if he tried to put any hidden bullshit in there. I was like, no, he might have been reading from a script. That's fine.
No, because you can't. There are some times you can't just do it on the fly like we do. Yeah. You need to make sure your thoughts are collected and proofread.
But just watching it, and I'm sitting here like, okay, you get one.
Everybody gets one.
You're still not invited to the cookout like ever, but you get one. So
you can take a burger to go.
You get a to-go plate.
We'll see.
Okay.
Grab a Coke can and you can leave.
You're still not allowed to bring anything.
Anyway, we thank you guys for sticking with us during this very interesting few months.
Yeah.
Me and Jacob tried to stream as much as we could to keep content for you guys. I am very disappointed in myself for not streaming as much as I wanted to, but
I'm a little disappointed in myself for not streaming at all.
You know what? I'm a little disappointed in you too. I'm not gonna lie.
But at the same time, I was always on Discord. And those of you.
Oh no, yeah, you are, and I was unfortunately dealing with a lot of adult things going on in my life at the time. I am trying to fix my house, redecorate it, make it look nice. Just a lot of shit's going on.
Life's tough. But I feel like together we can just try to make it at least a little bit better.
Yeah. I still love all the people who reached out to me on Twitter. Like there was this one guy, I can't remember his name and I really apologize, who on more than one occasion tweeted us and said, I had another bad day, watched your videos, I'm feeling so much better. And it touches us. It really does.
This will be the only time you'll see me have any emotion in any video.
I also can't talk anymore because we just finished screaming, so my throat's done.
Yeah, this is like the one time that you'll see it. Just like Fiona said in the stream, it's like this will be the only time you'll ever see her cry. This will be the only time that you ever see me get close to that. And
I've seen him get closer. We don't talk about that day.
Yeah.
You've seen me cry.
You've seen me cry.
I have too.
I'm a crier.
I'm much more of a stab first, ask questions.
Just stab the questions.
Yeah.
Hi, Carter Grayson. Moving on. But we just wanted to get this out there. Thank you, Marcus, for surprising us with this, because it is something that needed to be addressed and needed to be said, because you can't just
not say anything.
You can't not say anything, because that is part of the problem.
Yeah.
But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Follow us on all the things. Mm-hmm. Or don't. Like I said, if you disagree with what we've discussed, get the fuck out. But we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. Bye, everybody.